best boxing podcast in the world.
Call the cops on me. On a mission to be champs since they let me free. Prepare for combat, my adversaries crumble. Face it, I got a reputation for damage. Busters get ready to rumble. They lock me in a cell. Have me trapped in a living hell. Though not guilty, I'm still in jail. Brother, I serve my time like a soldier. Maintain composure. My shadow boxing the fight to the death. Busting boulders. Every boxer with a pair of gloves. Best give up love. Here's a man from the makings of a thug. A lethal weapon, mind sharp. And in my heart, there's a wish to shake the world with the flurry of my black fist. Now once a high school dropout. Now I'm the $1 million champ. Who's the next to get knocked out?
What's going on, everybody? Another episode of CSBS Show. As my boy JP. JP, what's going on, man?
Let's do it, man.
All right. First things first. Follow us on Twitter, Cheap Seats Box, iTunes, rate, review. He'll be next unofficial sponsor. Like our man Tough Swami. I think he's a Texas guy. He said two Texas guys keeping it real about boxing. So I'm assuming. And he said he don't have no Twitter handle, so he wanted us to give a cool Twitter handle. I figured he was the Swami. That's old Chris Bourbon gig. So at Chris Bourbon's nicknames on Twitter. We'll just make it. There you go. There's your Twitter handle if you ever make one up. At Chris Bourbon's nicknames. Tough Swami, you are the official sponsor of this episode. Unofficial sponsor. There's no unofficial sponsor unless you want to give me some money. Then you will be official. Follow us on all the platforms. Spotify, YouTube. It is trending up. So guess what? Those videos will come soon. All the other platforms. You know where the fuck we're at. JP last week. Really won't fight, man. I mean, there's some news now. We'll get into the breaking news. Anthony Joshua stoppage over. Alexander Povetkin, 6th round, seventh round, some shit like that. Yeah, 7th round. What'd you think, man? I mean, I saw a lot of reaction on Twitter, and like as usual, overreaction. What'd you think, man?
I think he did what he was supposed to do. I think he got him out of there. I think he didn't look as good as, some people might feel. And some people, like, he got some things exposed, but, I mean, not really. I mean, it's just he didn't completely dominate the guy. But, unfortunately, we talking about, it's the competition. Povetkin is good, but his history, you really didn't know what you was going to get. Because basically, you're looking at a fighter who they allowed to be juiced for a long period of time. So, you got what you got, I wouldn't call him a tomato can, but I wouldn't call him a contender now, So, he got there, he beat him. It's not the fight that people want to see, and it's not... it's hard to gauge because of who it is. That's what it is. Like, it's just hard to gauge him. You take the fight we want to see his opponent. It's easier to gauge his fight against Kong. Like, okay, that's a more formidable opponent. Yeah, he was on that stuff too, but it's a more formidable opponent. But, this fight with Fury, we'll see which Fury shows up. But it looks like a build-up, this is what you're supposed to do with this guy kind of fight. That's how I look at it.
See that, and that's the conclusion a lot of people came to as far as Ortiz and Povetkin, and I get it, but I don't agree with it. Because let's go back and look at these last two fights for these guys. Well, the last fight each for these guys, Wilder and Joshua. They both fought a 39-year-old guy. They both fought a former amateur standout. They both fought top 5 heavyweights at the time. They both lost early rounds, and they both got stoppages. Yet there's people take so much from this fight. It was like the last fight, It was like, well, if Ortiz catches Wilder with those shots, just think what Josh was going to do. And now it's, well, Povetkin caught him early, and I didn't even think he really hurt him. I thought he just caught him off balance a little bit. I didn't see him hurt. He did a dance because he was off balance, but he didn't go backwards afterwards. He came right back to him once he caught his footing. But to me, they're damn near mirror images. You got outboxed early. I thought he was coming on. You could have that fight 4-2 Povetkin. You could even have it 3-3 because Povetkin was after the first round. I don't think he did that much. They both didn't do much. And that's what I was saying, that that Joshua is going into this mode to where he's not really opening himself up to opportunities as much. He's fighting a more cautious style. He did come at him with a couple multi-punch combinations early on, but he really didn't do that until he had felt the power and saw that he was tiring in Povetkin in the 6th and 7th round. He got the stoppage, which is what he's supposed to do. Povetkin, I don't even think Povetkin's ever really been hurt. I don't even think he was hurt in the Klitschko fight.
No, he wasn't down.
Yeah,
or
nothing.
No.
And so you give him respect for that, just like you gave Wilder respect for coming back and making it. He made adjustments against Ortiz, and once we saw Ortiz starting to get tired, well, that's when Wilder got on him, and you could see that they were kind of had waited for those things, those opportunities to open up. And there's another thing that there's another similarity, right? People, do they not know that this is our showtime at the park? A lot of people had Povetkin up. Like I said, I had it more 3-3, but you can have him up 4-2. I got no problem with that. Just like I thought, there was pretty much no doubt in that Wilder and Ortiz fight that Wilder was losing that fight, right? But yet they were both up on the cards, so they both are. Look, the similarities are so striking. But there's and both fights had this in common. Even though it looked like Joshua may have been losing and Wilder was losing a boxing match, you could kind of see where that fight was going, though. You were like, they are, but even say that 9th and 10th round, you knew it was just a matter of time before Wilder caught him and finished Ortiz. And you kind of got that same feeling. You see it, well, Joshua's coming back on, he's making adjustments, he's not getting caught anymore. Povetkin's getting tired. It's just a matter of time now. And that's what they both did.
You remember how we used to talk about how Mike Tyson became a guy just looking for that one shot? Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like now. And it's like, well, I guess, the mental pressure and the pressure of like trying to walk somebody down and get into that space, like, I guess that's what's wearing these guys down in the ring. But it's like, they can't fight each other like that. Mm-hmm. That because whoever you give the shot to first, it could be a good night. So that's why it's difficult to judge, because we're looking at the fighters judging how they will fight each other, and it can't be the way they're fighting, this competition. You can't give up the rounds early because of the power dynamic. Mm-hmm. Like if you put either fighter in either fighter's shoes. Wilder comes in swinging in round 1, it could be over. Joshua comes in swinging round 1, it could be over. So, to watch him, it's like, well, we're not really enjoying the fight per se, because it's like, this is not the fight I want to see anyways. So how can we make this a build up to the fight I want to see? But the issue is, for him, the same issue for Wilder. They got power, they got heart. Nobody thinks either chin is going to survive to who gets hit first, because what they lack is defense. Mm-hmm. So it's just, and that's what the problem is for the loser of their fight.
And I think that, to me, that's the only differentiation between those two, is the defense. Is they're both lacking in defense, but I think that Wilder leaves more openings than Joshua. Joshua, like I said, these last few fights, he's kind of slowed down his attack and kind of been more measured to where he's not leaving as many openings. Where Wilder, as soon as he punches, he's open for a counter. Now, are you willing to try to counter him? Because then you can get caught yourself. Will it happen in April? We'll see, man. It's what, because I know it's happening in 2019. I just know it's happening in 2019, one way or the other. Joshua is you can just see it bubbling behind the scenes. Like, you can see it, like he's tired of it. Like he knows that his career is getting taken a certain direction to maximize stuff like that. But there's that part of him that's I'm still a man. Fuck that. I want, and I know I can beat Wilder, just like Wilder knows and he could beat Joshua, and that's exactly what you want. No fighter is afraid. Not in this case. Neither one of these guys are afraid of each other. They both know I can knock that motherfucker out. That's what they know.
And here's the weird part about it. I think people look at it. This is not Triple G and Canelo. These guys are not trying to last 12. That's the difference. It's like, those two guys are great fighters who have the ability to last 12. We got two fighters who are not trying to go 12. If that fight went 12, it was just a damn. Well, I guess I had to be here all night. Like, it's that, and I think, to me, when they want to, let's get as much money as we can get out of it. Well, here's the problem. Why don't you treat the heavyweight division like the heavyweight division? Because if you get knocked out in a heavyweight fight, you fight in a heavyweight fight. Mm-hmm. It's not the same as getting knocked out in lower weight classes. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, yeah, it's the one punch division. Yeah. So if you get knocked out and you say, look, man, I come back, I won't be the one getting knocked out. That's actually more believable in the history of heavyweights. Like, you can get dropped. I mean, yeah, you can get clocked. You could be winning the whole fight and just get knocked out just out of the blue. So, I think it's what we want or what we not is what we're not getting. Eventually we will, but whatever.
Somebody wants tacos over there. That's all I know. And that sounds pretty good to me. All right. There's not much. Honestly, there's really not much to take from either one of those fights. Doesn't show you anything more, anything less than we knew going in to that mega fight, if and when that happens. So this weekend, we'll get to it. Yeah, it's finally going to happen, guys. Yeah, that's right. The finale of the super middleweight division in the World Boxing Super Series is George Groves battles Callum Smith for that Ali Trophy, the coveted Ali Trophy. And let's be honest, stateside, I still don't think we have any TV for it, if I'm not mistaken. No. Even though DAZN has got next season, they don't have this season. So there's still no TV in the US for it. So good job, World Boxing Super Series, and good job next year, as I don't have DAZN and I don't plan on getting it. So I'll be streaming everything as usual. I'll find a way. That's what I do.
So is it DAZN or DAZN?
DAZN. Yeah, DAZN.
I'm asking.
You see DAZN, but it is DAZN. Honestly, this fight it's great. It's a finale, but it doesn't. I thought the best fight was the semifinals between Eubank Jr. and Groves, and George Groves handled him pretty easily. I think he's going to do the same with Callum Smith. Callum Smith didn't look that good in the first round against Skoglund. Looked okay. Who's that? I can't remember that guy's name. Something. Hold on. The guy that I'd never heard of before in the history of fights ever. Something Coles Key. I don't know. There's a K in there somewhere. You know who I'm talking about. He was a fucking bum. All right. Wasn't he a late fill-in? Was he a late fill-in?
I think so.
Yeah. See, this thing has gone on too long that we don't even remember. But anyway, I got George Groves. This is going to be a battle of short left hooks. They both love the short left hook with their opponent coming in, or actually Groves and Smith coming in with straight rights or a jab. They love all those things. Here's the difference with me. Oh no, Callum Smith's. Look up his.
Yeah.
And the one thing I think the difference in these two.
That's him.
Yeah, Niki Holskin, whatever. Yeah, amazing talent. You guys like that? As he's searching on his phone to find it? Yeah, that's the kind of detailed approach we take to our podcast. The one thing I see between the two, the difference in those two, is Callum Smith as he comes in, because he likes to lead, and Groves like to go back, so they're both going to be in a comfort zone. As I think when Smith leads, he tends to drop his right, leave himself exposed a little bit more than Groves does, and Groves will capitalize on with those short left hooks coming in. And just like he did with Eubank Jr., as much as Eubank Jr. was... Oh, shit. Pause. I don't know where I was, but I paused it. Whatever. Hey, the good thing is the people are gone. The bro people are gone that wanted tacos, so they're gone. So that's good. You don't have to hear that no more. But I think that's going to be the difference. I was saying like he did, like Groves did against Eubank, was after a few rounds of catching Eubank coming in, leaving himself exposed and catching him with short hooks coming in, he kind of backed off and kind of made his attack more sporadic, where Callum Smith isn't a high volume puncher anyway, and I think he's going to slow him down to a standstill, I think, as far as his output. There will be short bursts, but I think that's about it. Groves will beat him with precision. I think his left hook's a little bit more educated than Callum Smith's is, even though Callum Smith's been a prospect for 10 years. I think George Groves is going to get this. It'll probably be a nice 9-3, 8-4 decision for George Groves, and we'll finally be done with this 168 division. I didn't even crown the best because nobody knows who the best at 168 is. So it's whatever.
Yeah, I just think Groves is a better fighter. Better fighter, better competition, and the punch output is a problem. Especially from a standard of, you got to remember Groves was in the ring with Froch. So if you can't bully him and hit him as hard as Froch does, you're going to have a problem. And he easily went through Eubank. And Eubank usually has a higher punch output. So if you got a low one, problem. And plus, the one thing Callum is like a big upper body. Mm-hmm. It's a big target. That's a big target for body shots up close or, mid range. That's a big target. And all he got to do is just tap it every now and then. Just tap it. Just tap. Eventually, you're going to take the steam off the punches anyways. And even the punches that he doesn't throw that much. So I think he's just a better fighter, and he's going to just be a better fighter that night.
Yeah, if you just look at the names on him, Froch twice, DeGale early on, Badu Jack, Chris. I mean, just looking at the people they've been in the ring with, there's really nothing that Callum Smith is going to show George Groves that he hasn't seen in that ring. He doesn't bring anything unique that those guys don't. He's a high guard guy who comes in and he opens up a little bit, but he's not. I just don't see what he brings that's gonna confuse or kind of. I don't think there's nothing he's gonna make George Groves think about. I really don't, man. I really do. I think there's gonna be. I see a different style of fight than the Eubank fight, obviously, but I still think you're going to see a similar kind of ease to this fight. That after a few rounds, Groves gets in a rhythm and Smith don't like what's coming back at him, and it kind of gets a little monotonous after a while, and you're going to see basically the same round over and over again. That's what I see, until maybe late when Smith tries to open up because he's got no shot other than a knockout.
I mean, I don't even think that's going to work for him. Groves is just a better fighter. Better toolbox, better competition, and quote-unquote better boxing body, because that big wide up, that wide top is a huge target. I don't care if you aiming for the chest, the solar plexus, the sides. Just beat up the shoulders. Like, his upper body is far too big to not be a target. You don't even need to hit him in his head to wear him down, or to give him something to think about. You could tap him on his bicep for 3-4 rounds and be like, well, yeah, man, there's nothing you can stop it. I think he's just too big of a target.
All right, so we both got Groves. This weekend, I guess Victor Ortiz ain't fighting. Who knows? I don't think he is. Maybe he is. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. You guys know what happened with him. Arrested. Sexual assault and rape. No, we're not talking about. We're not talking about the Supreme Court nominee. We're talking about Victor Ortiz. Uh, who else got arrested?
Is with him, Benavidez, and Tank, I believe.
There you go. Whatever. Cocaine was the Benavidez thing. We didn't even hit that last week. It's whatever. I thought he was supposed to be the good Benavidez brother. Maybe not. But let's just focus on the UK. Let's make this a UK show. So it came out a couple of hours ago. You told me. Hell, I hadn't even been on Twitter. Another UK guy fails a drug test. This is all UK. This is Joshua, the beginning, Groves in the middle, and now Billy Joe Saunders fails a drugs test for a stimulant, obviously because he's a fat fuck. He's trying to lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time, and he needs help. But it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, especially after the video. He's had a bad week.
Yeah.
You know, he got fined. Was it $100,000 for his crackhead video thing that he did, and now getting busted, failing a VADA test. Not a great week for the Gypsy King's little brother, the other Gypsy guy.
Oh,
Billy.
Gypsy?
I think, yeah, I think so. If not, we'll just
just go with it.
I'll make it up. I don't give a shit. I think he is though. Billy Joe Saunders talked a lot of shit about Canelo, about being a drug cheat. You gotta watch what you say. You gotta watch what you say. But you know what? Like I said, it couldn't happen to a better guy. I don't give a shit if they spiked his fucking sample. He deserves it. Fuck him.
You know, this is the thing. And it's just, we've been talking about this for, I don't know, years. First problem was guys not making weight. Well, no, we started prior to guys not making weight with guys walking around out of shape. Then guys not making weight. Then guys draining themselves and looking like trash because they not making, because, you know, they got to make weight. And now guys keep getting popped. And it's like, well, you know, there's a real simple solution to this. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, train. I don't know. You know, eat healthier. I don't know. Like, boxing is a year-round thing. You know, stay active. You know, what do we keep seeing? Fighters blowing up. Like, everybody thinks they're Ricky Hatton. You know, I fight at this weight. Well, how come you 37 pounds more than that weight? Well, I got to fight in 3 months. This is why you suck in the ring. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work out, and I'm going to get on the juice, and I'm going to be 100%. Oh, okay. You know, the juice is no longer an excuse, right? You know, so, it's, you know, he has to deal with the same fate. And the crazy thing about it is, man, you a jerk. You know not to get caught. Like, this is what, first of all, so you bring out the video. You see, people, if people liked you, they would be like, we went a little too far, but we kind of like you, but they don't. So they own you about that. And then right afterwards, man, come on, man.
You know what's funny too is this is after a year in which he had kind of built this name back up stateside. Because remember when we talked to Martin on New Age Boxing Podcast, when we had him on ours, and we were talking like, what do people think over there? Because over here he's pretty much taken as a joke. And as soon after that, he has the win over Willie Monroe, and then a dominant victory over Lemieux, right? Just make him look bad. Reestablishes his name over here. All of a sudden, he's like, you know what? That guy could give trouble to Canelo and Triple G. Just that style is tough, and people are starting to get back on the bandwagon. Not literally, but like all of a sudden, he wasn't a joke. Like, you got to take him serious. And then he goes and has back-to-back bad weeks. Video, fine, test. And he's back to being the butt of jokes again. And it can't happen to a better guy. It just can't happen to a better guy. So it is what it is. Honestly, who knows what they'll do. He may get a shot anyway. And you know what? Truth be told, he just postponed the fight and he gets a shot. WBC did it more than a few times. WBA's done it. They made Povetkin a mandatory. WBO, yeah, they'll probably do it. They'll probably do it. He'll probably get his opportunity. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, if you go look at the WBO rankings, you don't want who's number 2 because it's a guy I've never heard of to face Demetrius Andrade. I've never heard of that guy. Number 3 was Spike O'Sullivan, obviously not there anymore. And then it's David Lemieux. I could take that if that's what they were going to do, but we're still not going to get that probably for another 3 months. This fight at least got postponed a couple, 2-3 months, most likely.
I mean, geez, if chasing money that you're not going to make in prize fighting has, disabled plenty of good fights, so has getting popped. So here's the thing. How about just what you guys need to do? Just say, I'm not fighting who you want, who I could fight to make money when you want it. I'm not going to strike when the iron's hot. And I'm going to probably be on something. I remember he had when Saunders went off, he was like, well, everybody should just cheat then. Well, I guess,
He took it to heart.
Yeah, everybody should just cheat. So, at this point, who was the guy, the baseball player? I've never done steroids.
Rafi Palmeiro.
No.
Which one?
The younger, is it Braun?
Oh, Ryan Braun, yeah.
Yeah, you basically pulled a Ryan Braun. Like, you're in there giving up, fighting for your life. And, by the way, when I leave here, let me get some of that dope. Like, come on, man.
Nowadays in sports, when somebody says, man, I'm coming in here more than 100%. I'm coming here 110%, giving 110%. Like, you may want to chuckle what the extra 10% may be, because nowadays it may be something. Take the test. Take the test. Yeah, we cut it off there, man. I know it's a shorter episode. Ain't tough, Swami. I'm sorry. You're going to get a little shorter episode. Hold on.
I'm sorry, Swami. I love the nickname, though. But here's one other thing that I just wanted to say off the top. Do you notice that all these guys who get popped never blame their fitness team, their conditioners, or the people that feed them? You notice that? So I'm glad that you guys were stupid enough to keep getting caught cheating and not blame the people who were giving you food and drinks. Because you know what that means? You knew. That's what it means. You knew. So since you knew, we all know. That's it.
You can be like Tough Swami. Since this was his episode, you can go on to iTunes and rate and review and be the unofficial sponsor, like Tough Swami was, or at Chris Berman's nicknames. UK people, I'm gonna go check this week. We pretty much gave you an all UK episode over here in the States. Pretty much. I mean, we sprinkled in a couple names, but other than that, it was an all UK episode. So help us out, hook us up, get that show more noticeable in the UK. We do pretty well, not amazingly well, but good enough. You can follow the show on Twitter at Cheap Seats Box, and you can follow all the platforms. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, all the other platforms. We're everywhere. Help do that. The videos will be coming as those numbers grow, and they're slowly growing. It's a slow fucking crawl, people. I get it. Yeah. It happens. But help us out, do that. Help keep the show noticeable. JP, is there anything else?
This is where the fighters fighting the fans commentate.
And we do it just like you from the Cheap Seats, because we ain't buying no tickets, goddammit. Peace.
Again, I'll be the next heavyweight champion. Call me crazy, but no one can fade me. I'm the product of the projects, lost and crazy. Throw your hands up, Mr. Bruno. Ride, Big Mike Tyson about to brutalize that ass tonight. No hesitation for the whole nation. I beat that ass so bad I probably violate probation. Through demonstration as I strategize information. Intent to kill, so it's real like I'm catching cases. Let the world know I plan to die. If I don't